Do you remember back when you were a little kid, you used to love a movie back then that you used to like? But then as you grow older, you realize how horribly aged it became. Hi guys, this is Jonathan, the Disney and Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and today I am redoing my review slash rant on Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat that came in the year of 2003. So basically what the plot is about, you got a woman who's working named Joan, and then this guy who yells a lot saying if her house is messy, she goes to after when he fires the guy for no reason at all, but being so obnoxious. Yeah, there's this one scene where the guy said you're fired to that guy for no reason, and then the guy who got fired gets scared and ran away. Yeah, he did that for no reason, and then he tells Joan that if her house is as messy as last time, she'll be fired too. And she made a promise that her house will be clean. And then we go to the scene where her two kids named Conrad and Sally. Conrad is this troublemaker that always gets into trouble. And while Sally is this know-it-all girl. Conrad does some stunts like indoor still, like he dressed something. He got dressed to do insane stunts like doing the stairs and all that stuff. And then when he does the stunts, his mother arrives and then Nevin's escape. And then his mom got mad at him. And then she took out the dress out of the plastic, and she said to him, "You were lucky that he didn't ruin the dress." But then Conrad made an excuse saying this was all Sally's fault, and then eventually Conrad gets grounded, and then Larry Quinn comes, and he convinces Joan to send Conrad to military school to straighten his act up. Really? Sending a kid to military school? I don't see Peter Pan doing that, nor Pinocchio, nor Alice in Wonderland. But really? Sending a kid to military school with brutal forced marches and soul-crushing discipline? That's cruel. And then Joan leaves the kids with the nanny, a babysitter, and then they watch TV, and eventually the babysitter falls asleep. And then they get bored and sit down on it and doing nothing, and then the cat arrives, which terrifies the kid at first. And then the Cat in the Hat convinces that they'll be having so much fun. And then, yeah, he sings the fun song, and and then, yeah, he goes around messing in the living room with the couch, and they jump on the couch as well, and then they later on they made some cupcakes with the cupcakeinator, and then one scene where the chef accidentally cuts off the cat's tail, and then he yells, "Son of a bitch." Really? It's supposed to be a kid's film. Why is there cursing in that film? And then eventually the cupcakes explode and the kitchen is now a mess. And Sally tells the cat that it's time to clean up. But eventually he makes matters worse. He takes Mom's dress and cleans it, and the kids freak out about it. And then the Cat in the Hat had an idea, and he gets out the box and gets out the box, and Sing 1 and Sing 2 arrives. and yes, it gets even worse rather than better. And they eventually, Sing 1 and Sing 2 eventually wreck the whole house. And yes, Nevin's got away too. The kids are now, well, Sally bitches about the whole house being destroyed and Nevin's being gone and the party is ruined. They convince that that it's up to them to get the dog. And then, yeah, before Larry Quinn. And then eventually they're on a mission to find a dog, and then later on they went home and Larry finds the kids, but the cat arrives, and yeah. And then the whole house is now like an acid trip, and yeah. And then later on, the house is now completely destroyed, and later on throughout the film, and the cat and Sally and Conrad tells the cat to get out, and then the cat later arrives by cleaning up the house, and yeah, and then Larry tries to convince Joan that the kids are up to no good, but then Joan changed her mind of sending Conrad to military school, and now she believes that he's a good kid, and the party was a success. And then at the end, Joan, Conrad, and Sally jumps on the couch, and the Cat in the Hat was the narrator, and then they leave, and that's basically what the plot is for the film. What do I think about this movie? It's an absolute disaster. I can't believe I even used to like this movie back as a kid. I mean, do I have anything positive to say? Not really. Not much about it, so let's go into the negatives. The plot is really confusing. Like, it's supposed to be based off a Dr. Seuss book, but it feels like an acid trip instead. It feels like that we are on an acid trip instead. Like, they just tarnish the beloved children's book and made it bad. The second are the characters. The characters are either obnoxious, mean-spirited, annoying, creepy, or even cold-hearted. Larry Quinn was the worst villain ever. He wants to convince Joan to send Conrad to military school, all because he wants to marry Joan. Really? Conrad's just this troublemaking kid that always gets into trouble, and Sally's too bossy, and she thinks she knows everything but sing and all that stuff. And the Cat in the Hat is annoying, especially when you see his face. You could tell it's very creepy. And the fish looks, the CGI look on this fish looks really terrible. Like, what is this? The jokes are really dirty. Like, here's an example. When the cat in the hat sees a picture of Joan, he goes, "Who is this?" And then he becomes shocked, and Conrad said, "That's my mom." And then he said, "Awkward." Oh, okay. And then one scene where he said to the host, "Dirty hoe," and said, "I'm sorry, babe. It's not you. It's me." Seriously? In a freaking kids film? And the one scene where the chef, also known as the Cat in the Hat, yells, "Son of a bitch." Why is there cursing in this film? It's supposed to be a kids film. The jokes are not even funny at all. It's just too gross or too inappropriate or too dirty. And the humor is not even funny either. It's rather a miserable and unfunny one, and even a mean-spirited one. And the characters' looks, especially the cat, looks bland. Like Sally, Conrad, Joan, Larry, they all look, and the nanny, they all look bland. But the Sing 1 and Sing 2 and the Cat in the Hat and the fish looks terrible. Like, even Sing 1 and Sing 2 looks are really just horrible. The music is bland as well. And the songs are not even that good as well. And even when the hairball scene, when the Cat in the Hat throws up a hairball, that's nasty, okay? That's nasty. Nobody wants to sit through this gross humor, okay? I can't believe I even used to like this movie back then, back when I was a kid. Now, looking back at it, I realize how horribly aged it became. With a confusing plot, unlikable characters, bland music, miserable and mean-spirited humor, dirty, inappropriate, or gross jokes, just everything about this movie just fails. And the casting tried to do their best, but it just fails. And I don't know why Mike Myers had to be in this film. He was great in Austin Powers and Wayne's World and Shrek, but he's terrible. Especially with the Love Guru, he's terrible. I mean, they tried, but they just did a terrible job with acting. So basically, for my final rating for The Cat in the Hat, it's a 1 out of 7. Such a horrendous film with a confusing plot, unlikable characters, miserable and mean-spirited humor, dirty jokes, terrible casting and acting, bland music, etc. I don't recommend this movie at all. Such an awful film. Well, that was my review / rant on Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat film from Redone version from 2003. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to me. This is Jonathan, the Disney and Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and I'll see you guys next time on my next video. And I'll see you guys later.